All right. First and foremost, I'd like to say all praises to the Most High. All praises. Let the Most High be praised and glorified. Like I say, shalom to all Israel, to the family, brothers, sisters, foes, enemies, rivals, haters. Shalom to you too, because you play your part too. All right. But mainly to those of the faithful house. All right. So, Kwam Yasharal. All right. So we're gonna begin our class. Before we begin our class, the theme of today is going to be, it's time for thee, O Most High, to work. It's time for the Most High to work, like David said in the Psalms. All right. So we're gonna read that Psalms 1. We're gonna start off with the Psalms there. Wow, the cup is magnetic today. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start off with Psalms 119 and 126. That's going to be our start off Psalms. We'll read 2 Psalms today. This is going to be the start off Psalms, Psalms 119 and 126.
Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law.
All right. So this is what David said. He said, it's time for thee, O Yahweh, to work, because they have made void thy law. Who has made void the Most High law? Beginning with the people of the Most High, the children of Israel. We have made void the law of the Most High. Then the other heathen nations have made void the Most High law. Those particularly that's in rulership of this earth. All right. But it first points the finger at us as a people, because we have made void the law of the Most High. We have chosen rather to follow the ways of the heathens and the nations and take on their pagan customs. Continue.
Therefore, I love thy commandments above gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yea.
So David said he loved the Most High commandments above gold. Go ahead.
Yea, above fine gold.
Above fine gold. Above the finest gold you could bring. David said he loves the Most High commandment above the finest gold. Continue.
Therefore, I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and hate every false way.
And he said he hates every false way, because everything in this society that we have been taught from our childhood, from when we started going to school, even before we started going to school, is falsehood. Okay, the things that our parents taught us, some might have some truth in it, but a lot what they taught us is falsehood. It's false because they were taught that from who? From the oppressor, from the enemy. Okay, so this society is a society based on falsehood. Right. So with that, we're going to move on to the next subject, which is Psalms, the 58th chapter. We're going to delve and go into Psalms, the 58th chapter, because I saw an incident in the news flash. We only get recognition as Israelites when some evil is done. Then, oh, the black Hebrew Israelites, the Hebrew Israelite. But all the rest of the time, we get no recognition for being the chosen people of the Most High, the Hebrew Israelites. Only when some evil is done, we're highlighted, put on the front page, in handcuffs, looking like a fool, the black Hebrew Israelite. Virulent anti-Semite words. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Let me share. I find this here very, very This guy, I don't know what the hell he did. He claimed he ran over some people with a car. Now he's up on the big front print. Hebrew Israelites with dreads in handcuffs, looking like a fool, going to jail. So did he think he was going to get caught for doing this? That's why the Most High said, "Wait ye upon me until I rise up to the prey." But we're going to read some of this in your Shire because he looks like a real fool right here now, man. Read this here, man. It's a damn shame, man.
All right. This is Christmas parade murder suspect was a virulent anti-Semite.
Here it said, a virulent anti-Semite. See, they put those words out there so you could stir up the propaganda and stir up the minds of the people. So mainly, when you put that word up, who's this going to stir up? The so-called Jews. Oh, he's an anti-Semite. Oh. So right away, it's going to build up that hatred and animosity. See? That's why we have to deal with these Negroes in a certain way. We have to pass draconian laws to keep them in check. So the news media is a white man's propaganda machine to keep his lies, his sorcery, and his BS going, his poison. Continue.
Reports have surfaced that the suspect in a Wisconsin Christmas parade tragedy had a history of posting anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
Oh, here we go now. He had a history of posting anti-Semitic stuff. Give me a break. How they know this? Did they go and check out all his computer and everything that he was doing? And then the first thing they did is label him a black Hebrew Israelite. I wonder whose camp do he belong to? Who do he associate with? Let's find out and see if they put that in there.
Oh, excuse me, I skipped something. It says Darrell Brooks was a black Hebrew Israelite.
See what they put? Darrell Brooks was a black Hebrew Israelite. Wow. See? That's the first thing they put there. But if it was something in righteousness or truth, they won't put he was a Hebrew Israelite. They'll put Afro-American black. Right. But see what's the objective that they're doing here? Is to label us, right? To be a target. Continue.
A sect which believes that Jews are imposters and that the blacks are the real chosen people.
That part is right. That part is right. There are imposters. There are imposters, and we are the chosen people. So some truth is going on in that, and a lot of propaganda is going on in that too. Go ahead.
Darrell Brooks Jr. of Milwaukee is charged with running over people with his SUV at a Christmas parade in Waukesha County on Monday.
Right? So in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So he drove his car right through the crowd. All right? I don't know what pushed him to do that, what made him do it, but there's no way in hell you, a black man in an SUV in Wisconsin, is going to escape that. No way in hell. Okay? There's no way. Like I always say, man, it's two things a black man cannot do and will never escape. You kill a white person or you kill a cop. You kill a cop, within 24 hours, you're going to be on the front page in handcuffs. Okay? It's not going to take 6 years, 10 years to find your behind if you kill a cop. All right? Go ahead.
5 people were killed and 6 succumbed to injuries on Tuesday.
See, 5 people died. So he's going to jail. He's going up. Okay, he's not like what the white boy in Rittenhouse. He's not like Rittenhouse, who's claimed was self-defense. Okay, he's not going to be a hero. He's going to jail. And when he goes to jail, those white boys in there are going to whip his behind, man. Okay, unless he doesn't have protective custody, or he's in a black area with black prisoners, he's going to catch his royal behind in there, boy. Okay, they're going to spit in his food. All right. They're going to abuse him. Get over here, nigga boy. Okay. He's going to catch his behind. Go ahead.
More than 60 people, including 18 children, were injured.
Wow. That's a lot of people, man. He probably was stepping on the gas, man. All right. Go ahead.
According to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, the 39-year-old Brooks has a criminal history that includes 2 previous incidents in which he attempted to run over someone with the car. Reports.
So he has a track record. You see how quick they could pull up your record? But they didn't pull up the record for Rittenhouse. They didn't pull up his background and say what he was about. But see how quick they could pull up his background and find out he had previous records? I'm telling you, go ahead.
Reports also said he was a registered sex offender in Nevada.
Ah, come on. How they know that?
That's crazy.
You see what's going on here now? Now he's going to be labeled now. Now he's going to be a target. When he goes to jail, man, go ahead.
Brooks' social media posts, which are now being scrutinized, show a history of black supremacist views and support for the controversial Black Hebrew Israelite sect.
I wonder which one of the Hebrew Israelites you were watching now. So you know what they're going to do now? They're going to scrutinize all Hebrew Israelite camps and the shows that we do. They'll be watching the shows to see if we put up and say anything. All right. But that was the main objective, to start targeting us anyway. But so what? Go ahead. The truth is out. You can't hide it. It's out there now. Okay, go ahead.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, this sect espouses that white people are agents of Satan.
That's true. That's true. That is true. That's a truth. That's not a lie. That's not a conspiracy. That's a fact. That's a truth. Go ahead.
Jews are liars and false worshipers of God.
That's true. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's in the scriptures too. Okay. Go ahead.
And blacks are the true chosen people.
That's the truth. You understand? So they're putting some truth in there, but they're mixing it with lies. Go ahead.
And are racially superior to other ethnicities.
That's true. The Most High said it. We know the scripture. The Most High said we're special people above all people. Okay, go ahead.
In one Facebook post, Brooks posted a quote attributed to Adolf Hitler, claiming that the Jews dominated the United States, that the Negroes are the true Hebrews.
Mm-hmm.
The alleged quote also claimed that false white Jews would be moved into a state of Israel. He also posted on other social media platforms under the alias of Math Boy Fly. In 2019, members of the Black Hebrew Israelites killed 6 people in a Jersey City shootout.
See, here they go now. Here they go. Read that part again. Here they go.
In 2019, members of the Black Hebrew Israelites killed 6 people in a Jersey shootout.
6 people. You see where they're going? You see? When the Hebrew Israelites killed 6 people, man. Yes.
And they have proved that to be false. He wasn't even an Israelite.
Right. But see, but they try to attach everything to label us, man. See, that's their job. There was more to it. Go ahead.
With police that began in a kosher market. According to investigators, the 2 gunmen, David Anderson and Francine Graham, had planned their attack on JC Kosher for months, but were killed in the gun battle.
You see, but there we go. But that's the objective. The objective is to target us. Okay, that's what it's coming down to. But they're gonna put some truth, but they're gonna mix it with a lot of propaganda and BS. Okay. Now from there, go to Psalm 58 and 1.
You want me to finish that last one?
Finish that last part. Yes.
This Israel's Interior Ministry ordered the deportation of around 50 members of the sect who were found to be in Israel illegally in April. Due to legal appeals and lack of air flights during the COVID pandemic, those Black Hebrew Israelites are still in Israel.
Right. So they're mad because the Israelites over there in Dimona, all right, and they can't seem to get them out of the land because they've been there for over 50 years. Right? Yes.
And you see how they tie in this.
Tying everything. Yeah.
The people in Dimona.
Yeah, to Dimona.
Don't know nothing about
right?
Dimona.
See, but that's the devil's job. His job is to put out poison. All right. That's why the Most High said, "Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation?" Their job is to put out lies and propaganda. And I'll tell you, they love that media. That media is his number one weapon, man. Okay. The media and his army and his military is his 2 best friends, okay? Because the media does the cleanup to prepare, not the cleanup, but it sets the stage for the military and everything else to go in and finish your job. Then the media comes back and cleans up everything, makes it seem as it's okay. The media is a mouthpiece for the serpent, okay? And that media plays a tremendous role. And that's why when Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, they said, "No, Negro boy, no. You're not going to buy NBC." You know why? Because if he had bought NBC, it would have been the voice of us putting out the truth. And he doesn't want the truth to be out there. He wants to suppress and keep us in check so he could flood the media in the world there with his lies, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And one thing just to notice, as we can see, is propaganda, but the devil always has a calling card if you read carefully. First thing it said was 5 people were killed and the 6th succumbed to injury. More than 60 people. In 2019, they killed 6 people.
666.
So his calling card is always in it. You just have to pay attention to how he talks.
Right.
He hides it inside his information.
Right. And then you're gonna tie this in with what happened over in 2019. See how he's tying all the pieces in? But when we tie in the pieces, oh no, you guys are twisting the scriptures. You're cherry picking. Well, we could say you're cherry picking too. Okay? But the Most High is gonna cherry pick and you're behind very soon. Okay? Let's go to Psalm 58 and 1.
Psalms chapter 58 and verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation?
See the question David was asking them. David was referring to these people here, the media, okay, the rulers of this society. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Go ahead.
Do you judge uprightly?
Do you judge uprightly? No, they don't judge uprightly. Go ahead.
O ye sons of men?
O ye sons of men. Go ahead.
Yea, in heart ye work wickedness.
And that's what they do in their minds, in their sleep, in their thoughts, in everything that they do, they work wickedness. Right? They plan their wickedness. Okay? And they sleep, they go to bed thinking of wickedness, and they wake up on thinking of wickedness, like it said in the book of Micah, the 2nd chapter. Okay? They devise iniquity and wickedness. Continue reading on.
Verse 2. Yea, in your heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
So it says, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So they go around the earth, weighing out their so-called justice with their military. Okay? So you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Read that verse again.
Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
So the wicked are estranged from the womb. From the time they come out the womb, they come out like little serpents, slithering, speaking poison. All right, they already got that poison fang in them already. All right, imagine when a snake is born from the egg, it really has a poison in him already. It doesn't wait, take time for him to develop. That poison is in him already. All right? That's the same way with them. Go ahead.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
So what it says, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. As soon as they're born in the earth, that's their job, to go out and speak lies. Go ahead.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
So what is this poison now? What is this poison? What is this poison? His philosophy, his lies, his doctrines, the things that he promote and teach. Right? It's all poison. Okay, go ahead.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely.
Okay, so David is giving an example of a charmer. Okay, you know what's a charmer? Everybody know what's a charmer?
Yeah, somebody that blows like a flute and deals like the serpents.
Right.
To get them to react.
What it does is it charms the serpent. You see it eats in and they and the serpent like move bubbling in his hand. So when they try to charm the serpent, but when you bring it up to what he's saying, we are the charmers that's speaking to them. But yet they don't want to listen to what we're saying. They reject what we're saying according to the words of the Most High. So a snake charmer, he will play that music to charm the serpent, all right? To have him control him to a certain degree. But I don't care what you do. You can't charm no damn serpent. A serpent will bite when the time is given for him to bite, okay? When he's hungry, he's going to bite, okay? You gonna charm a serpent. You can't charm you. And first of all, I don't want no snake around me. I don't like snakes. No kind of snakes around me. That's an ugly looking thing. They're too slithery. They look evil, man. How you gonna have a snake for a pet? Oh, that's my friend. He's around your neck. I don't want no snake around me, man. No snake, man. Okay? You can't trust them, man. He will like stay there. And when he get a chance, he'll put the bite in you, man. Okay? You ever seen a cobra? A black mamba? A black mamba is a bad sucker, man. A mamba, man, and he's quick too, man. He's fast. But that mongoose is a killer for those snakes, man. You ever see a mongoose in action? A mongoose that's what they did when in slavery in the islands. I think the white man brought the mongoose to the islands to kill all the snakes. Because when the slaves used to work in the cane fields, used to have a lot of snakes in the cane field. So the snakes will bite and kill a lot of slaves. So he said, "Dang, I'm losing profit." So they said the only way to get rid of the snakes was to bring the mongoose in the island. And when those mongoose got there, man, the snake population was gone. That's the only killer for snakes, mongooses, man. Okay? And rarely you ever see a mongoose lose a fight against a snake. Okay? That mongoose is a swift creature, man. He's good, man. Okay? He doesn't back down, man. But that's what David's saying. They charm. You can't charm a snake, man. Okay? But I see people do it. I don't know how they do it. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions.
So he's speaking about our enemies. He said, break their teeth. Bust his damn teeth out his mouth. You understand? He said in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense, break him down. Okay? Break their teeth, O Most High, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions. Meaning destroy them. Bring them down. And that's what we want the Most High to do. Read that verse again.
Verse 6. Break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces.
So when he shoot his arrows, what is his arrows that he's shooting? His lies, his propaganda. All right, his lies and his propaganda. And that's how he shoots. And he shoot his propaganda. How? By using the media. The media. Okay, that's the only way he could push and keep his lives going, by using his media. Okay, whether it's ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox News, you name it. All of them is working for the same master. Continue.
Verse 8. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Okay, now this is the part we get into in the end part. That's why the theme of the class is time for thee to work, O Most High. Because this is what the Most High is going to do very soon. And this is the time that we're approaching. Read that verse again.
The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Right, and the righteous is going to rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. All right, go ahead.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
This is a beautiful thing. The Most High said we're going to wash our feet in the blood of the wicked. And that's going to come very soon. All right, go ahead.
So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
See, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Go ahead.
Verily, he is a power that judges the earth.
See, there is a God that's going to judge in the earth. All right. So, the Most High is patient, and he's waiting for us to return back unto him. All right. And in doing that, the Most High is going to reward us. And that reward is not only riches, wealth, fame, power. It's going to be with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, spiritual power to rule this earth in righteousness and to judge this earth in righteousness and to uphold the Most High laws and to execute righteous judgments in the earth. right? Because that's a very important thing that has to be done when it comes to a nation. If a nation does not exalt these qualities, you're not fit to rule.
That's right.
All right. And David said, he said in Samuel, he said, in order to be a judge, you have to know how to rule uprightly and with righteousness to judge the earth. And because of unrighteous dealing, the rulership is taken from a nation and given to another people. Lose that and go to Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs, the 14th chapter. It says, righteousness exalt a nation, but sin is a reproach to a people. Proverbs, I think it's the 14th chapter, and I think the last verse, I think. Proverbs 14 and 34.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 34. Righteousness exalteth a nation.
See that? Righteousness exalteth a nation. Go ahead.
But sin is a reproach to any people.
But sin is a reproach to any people. Any people. The people of the Most High and people who are not people of the Most High. Because sin is a ruin of a people and a nation. Sin is the reason why we're in this condition as a people. All right? Okay, now from there, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, the 46th chapter. All right, because I want to build up to my theme of everything that's going on. All right, Jeremiah, the 46th chapter. I'm going to start from the 27th verse.
Jeremiah chapter 46 and verse 27. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob.
So the Most High saying, the Most High is encouraging us in these last days. He's giving us that confidence. But fear thou not, O my servant Jacob. Go ahead.
And be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off.
So the Most High said, I will save thee from afar off. All right, go ahead.
And thy seed from the land of their captivity.
So he said, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. What is our seed? What is our seed? Our children, our offspring, our generations. Right? Our seed from the land of their captivity. Go ahead.
And Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid.
And nobody's going to make us afraid when the Most High reestablishes us. So this only proves one thing, that the people that's over in the land of Israel that's claiming to be Israelis or Jewish are not the people of the Bible. Just like this says right here. Jews are imposters, and they are imposters. Okay? Because this prophecy, if this was the case, this prophecy should have been fulfilled when 1948 came into existence. Okay? But that never happened because they're not fulfilling the prophecy of the Bible. But evangelicalists and different religions try to make it fit to say that they're the people of the Bible. But the Most High is going to prove every day that they are not the people and that we're the people of the Most High. Okay, continue.
28. Fear thou not, O Jacob, my servant, saith Yahweh, for I am with thee. I will make a full end of all nations whither I have driven thee.
So the Most High said, I will make a full end of all the nations whither I have driven thee. Go ahead.
But I will not make a full end of thee.
The Most High said he's not going to make a full end of thee. What does that mean? When the Most High said, I will not make a full end of thee. He's not going to utterly destroy our seed, that it could never come back. Okay? Seed is always here. Generations of offspring. Okay? Continue.
But correct thee in measure.
But the Most High said, I will correct thee in measure. Go ahead.
Yet I will not leave thee wholly unpunished.
So the Most High said, I will not leave thee wholly unpunished. So the Most High had to correct us. That's the only way we could learn and see what the Most High is doing. You understand? The Most High had to punish us. Okay? And he had to correct us. And that's why we were brought here in captivity. For what? Our learning. This is a learning experience. Okay? From the time you were born to the time you die, it's a learning experience. Everything you do in life is a learning experience. Even though you might not learn from it at that present time, but when you reflect back, it's based for a learning experience. Everything that you do is a learning experience. When you make mistakes, when you screw up, that's for your learning. All right? That's to show you where you can improve and become a better person. And that's what the Most High was always trying to do to us. Throughout all the captivities that we serve as a nation of people. Correct us, correct us, correct us. But we never got it. We never got it right because we were what? So stubborn. Our head was so thick and rebellious. So the Most High said, okay, you don't want to listen? I'm going to fix you. When I'm finished with you with this captivity, you're going to see the correction that I've shown. All right? And that's why the Most High always stressed the point. When you go back to Ezekiel, go to Ezekiel 39. I love this scripture, man. Ezekiel 39 and the 23rd verse. I love this here. That verse in that chapter solidifies and proves 1,000% that we're the people of the Most High. And those people in the land of Israel that's claimed to be Jews are imposters. Just like they said here, that the so-called Jews in Israel are imposters. And anybody can't see that and believe that, then it wasn't meant for you. Okay? You're just in the way of progress. Read Ezekiel 39 and 23.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity.
See that? Then the heathens, which are the nations, going to know that the house of Israel went into slavery for what? Their sins. Nobody's saying about the so-called Jews in Israel. When they left Germany in 1940 and went back to Israel, they didn't say they were in slavery in Germany. They said they were being oppressed or in concentration camps by an oppressor and a rude tyrant named Adolf Hitler. They didn't say they went back to Israel because they were in slavery. Okay? Yeah, what's up?
That verse you read before in Jeremiah said he'll make a full end to the nation. So how come Germany's still here?
Right. Germany's still a powerful nation. Germany is still paying them compensation for what they did. The Volkswagen company is paying billions to these so-called Jews. Okay? But yet they talk about, when we talk about getting reparations, how? That's too much. We can't afford that. But how is it they're getting compensation and money from the Germany? And Germany is still paying money out because they're behind today for those bastards. You ever notice a so-called Jew, he never buys German cars? Do they buy Volkswagens?
Nope.
Do they buy Jettas or Passat?
Nope.
No, you don't see them buying German cars. They don't support nothing for Germany. So why do we support everything that belongs to our enemy? Why they don't say they're racist and evil for what they do? They don't support Germany. They blood-suck Germany. They said Germany did a great evil to us, so we must be compensated for what Germany did. Okay? But nobody says nothing about that. When we speak about getting reparations, it's a problem. Oh, we're lazy. We don't want to work. We just want to rely on the system. But they don't say about the so-called Jews. The so-called Jews has dual citizenship in America. Okay? He has American citizenship and he has so-called Israeli citizenship, and he could fly back and forth anytime. And he gets money from the U.S. government and from all nations. Okay? They get that money. And nobody says nothing about it. Nobody could say, well, why is the so-called, nobody says, why is the Jewish people being compensated for all this here? But then they will have empathy for them and say, oh, because they suffered in Germany of what Hitler did to God's people. You bastards. You bastards. What they did to God's people. So what they did to us wasn't an injustice?
You gotta let that go. Forget
Yeah. You got to let that go. That happened centuries ago. You can't live on the past. And lots of our people believe that crap. And the Most High is going to destroy those of our people that believe that crap. Okay? Yes, we sin against the Most High, but we should be due compensation and reparation for what has been done to us. Okay? Because lots of our people is still living out the mental scars of slavery.
That's right.
I'm gonna say this here too. First of all, did we get any treatment for what has been done for us over the past 100 years? Did we get any doctor's visit for the trauma and for the emotional scar that we suffered? No, we just came out of it and we dealt with it. We just took it, man and woman. We took it.
That's right.
Okay, nobody came to see, well, how are you doing? Are you still suffering the mental scars? Nobody didn't give it. Scripture said, who will come to thy side to see how thou doest? Okay, that's in the book of Jeremiah. The Most High said, nobody pitied thee. Okay, nobody came to our rescue and said, oh, you blacks, you have suffered. Okay, now we're going to do this back for you. We're going to give you your land. No, they didn't do that for us. That's what makes it so good, because it shows that we're the people of the Most High. Fulfilling prophecy, man. Fulfilling prophecy. You understand? And the Most High is so good the way he sets things up to confound and show the world that they're so wicked and evil and biased against the people of the Most High.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? But we're going to continue reading this first here. Continue reading on.
And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity.
See, they're going to know that we went into slavery for our iniquity, our sins. Go ahead.
Because they trespassed against me.
Because we trespass against the Most High. We didn't trespass against the nations. We went against the Most High. Right. We did the Most High dirt. Go ahead.
Therefore, I hid I my face from them.
See what the Most High said? I hid my face from them. You know what that means? That's so deep. The Most High said, I hid my face. Who actually knows what that means when the Most High said, I hid my face from them? Give me break to me.
Now, when he hid his face from, that's what he's saying, you know, we, in other words, you on your own.
True.
And it goes to all we went through.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's hitting it. Yeah, go ahead.
And can that go with going into my place until they acknowledge their faith?
Right, that goes for that too. Right? The Most High hid his face from us. And it goes, I'm sure how deep it goes to. When the Most High said he hid his face from us, how did the Most High used to deal with us in the past?
Face to face.
Face to face. He will perform miracles, wonders. He will be right there to do everything for us. But is the Most High doing that now? No, the Most High did about face. The Most High said, sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. You're on your own now. Your enemy is your God. So then when it goes deeper than that, it says, if the Most High hid his face from us, people say, but if there's a God, why is there so much evil in the earth? Why is God not doing the things that he used to do in the past? Because the Most High is not dealing with us the way he used to deal with us. So the Most High is not going to deal with the nations the way he dealt with us. The Most High dealt with us in a special and unique way that he have not dealt with any other nation. Hold that for a minute. I'm coming right back to that. I want to cover a lot of topics today. Go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. I'm going to show you how the Most High dealt with us. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. We'll come back to Ezekiel 39. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. And start here from the 32nd verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 32.
Actually, start from 30. Start from the 30 verse.
Verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to Yahweh thy power, and shalt be obedient to his voice, for Yahweh thy power is a merciful power, he will not forsake thee.
See, the Most High will not forsake us. Go ahead.
Neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto thee.
See, the Most High is not going to forget that covenant that he swore and made with our fathers. The Most High made a covenant with us, a special agreement, a contract. Okay, go ahead.
For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that Yahweh created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or have been heard like it.
Right. So the Most High is saying, Moses recording saying, listen, man, look at this. It says, ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or have been heard like it. Go ahead.
Did ever people hear the voice of Yahweh speaking out of the midst of fire?
What other nation of people ever heard that or seen that? No other people but us. Go ahead.
As thou hast heard and live.
As we has heard and live. So the Most High dealt with us face to face, directly. Continue.
Or hath Yahweh essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation?
What other God went and take another nation from the midst of another nation and brought them out of their bondage? Only one nation the Most High ever did that to. Go ahead.
By temptations, by signs and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all Yahweh your power did for you in Egypt before your eyes. Unto thee it was shown, that thou mightest know that Yahweh, he is the Most High. There is none else beside him.
See, so the Most High did that for us. Continue.
Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice.
See, out of heaven he made us to hear his voice. He spoke with us. He dealt with us face to face. That's why the Most High said, I hid my face from them. I took away my glory from them. Go ahead.
Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought thee out in his sight with a mighty power out of Egypt.
That's why the Most High said he hid his face from us. So when the Most High hid his face from us, the Most High stopped dealing with the earth. The Most High said all the nations have to deal with their own gods. I'm not going to deal with the nations the way I dealt with you. So that's why people have the idea, if it's a God, why does he allow all this evil and have it to happen in the earth? Where is he? Why is he not doing nothing? Because we're not in power. We're brought down. And the nations, their God is not the Most High.
That's right.
We're the only nation that the Most High is our power. Okay, so go back to Ezekiel 39.
Let me go to 24.
Yes, go to 24.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 24. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them.
So the Most High is reiterating again the second time. I hid my face from them. Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power. Now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob.
See what he says? Now I will bring the captivity of Jacob. Now the Most High said, now I'm going to bring back your captivity. I'm going to bring you out of captivity. Go ahead.
And have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that, they have borne their shame.
See what it says? After that, we have borne their shame. So now that we have come to what? Recognition of what we have done. Now that we have learned. Now that we have been corrected. Now that we have seen the errors of our ways. That's what it's talking about. Read that verse again. 26.
Come, verse 26. After that, they have borne their shame, and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid.
See, this is a future prophecy. This is future. Go ahead.
When I have brought them again from the people.
See, again, the second time, like it said in Isaiah, when I shall bring the captivity of my people Israel again, the second time. All right? That's a major recovery, a major deliverance. Go ahead.
And gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh, their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen.
See, then we're going to know that it was the Most High that put us in this condition. All right, go ahead.
But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them.
See, go again. Neither will I hide my face from them anymore. Go ahead.
For I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith Yahweh Elohim.
See, so everything that the Most High did was for our learning experience, like it said in Romans 15 and 4. everything that was written aforetime was what? Was written for our learning. Through patience and hope of the scriptures, we might have hope. Okay. Now from there, let's move on. Let's go to Isaiah 26. All right, the book of Isaiah 26. I want to cover a lot of grounds today, some chapters. Right, I want to move around too and jump into the New Testament. I want to share something about Yahushua. Isaiah 26 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will Yahweh appoint for walls and bulwarks.
This is a future prophecy. So this is what Judah is going to say. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. And we're going to sing that song, bro. We're going to sing it with a spiritual passion. Okay? Because when the Most High delivers us out of this hellhole, brother, and we go back home, we're going to sing and we're going to rejoice, man. We're not really singing and rejoicing now. That's what the scripture said. How shall we sing the Most High's song in a strange land? This is a strange land, man. All right? But when we go back home to Zion, brother, we're going to really sing and praise the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in.
See? Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. There's only one righteous nation on the earth that keepeth the truth. That's the nation of Israel.
That's right.
When we return back to the Most High. Okay? Continue.
Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee.
So the Most High said, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Perfect peace, man. Okay, go ahead.
Because he trusted in thee.
Continue.
Trust ye in the Most High forever. For in Yahweh Elohim is everlasting strength.
That's right. It's everlasting strength. Continue.
For he bringeth down them that dwell on high.
See, the Most High is going to bring those down that dwell on high. Those that dwell on high, they're coming down. Okay? Just like the stock market fell yesterday, up 9,000 points. Boy, they were like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Then you got one fool saying, see, I told you Bitcoin is going to be the new digital currency. Listen, Bitcoin is going to drop just like anything else. Because the Most High said their gold and their silver, they're going to cast in the streets. Okay?
That's right.
That gold and that silver ain't going to deliver them. Okay? The Bitcoin might be good for now because that's the stage that they're moving in with their new digital currency. Okay? That's why you had the mayor, the new mayor, talking about he wants to get paid his first paycheck in Bitcoins. What do a Negro know about that? They told him to say that. They told that Negro to say you want to get paid in Bitcoins. Okay, where is he getting Bitcoin from? Okay, even if you have stocks in it, you don't control Bitcoin. Somebody is making that Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is made from what? Gold and what? And some kind of different alloy metal or something. So who makes that metal? Ain't no black man making that. It's some mining company or some big industrial company that's making that coin. Okay? So who controls that? The same people that controls the Federal Reserve. But they're not telling you that. Okay? That Bitcoin is controlled by the same people that's running the Federal Reserve. But they're not telling you that. Because that's the whole era that they want to move into, the new digital currency. Okay, now maybe I might try it and see, get some Bitcoins and see how it's going, because Cash App take Bitcoin, and certain state Bitcoin. It sounds like a good idea, you know. So if anybody got any knowledge about it, hey, you know what I mean? Because the currency is going to change. It's moving to a digital currency. All right. So that's why it tells you in Revelation 13 and 16. That no man cannot buy or sell save he that has that mark. All right, rich, old, young, poor, rich. Okay, so they're moving into a new high-tech era. All right, continue.
For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city. He layeth it low. He layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust.
Right. So the Most High is going to bring down those haughty and light ones even down to the dust. They're coming down. Every last one. Continue.
The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor.
You see, even the feet of the poor, like we said in Psalms 58, the righteous shall rejoice and wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Okay, go ahead.
And the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright dost weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, we have waited for thee. For the desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me, I will seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness.
See that? For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So that's why the Most High said he hid his face. When the Most High returned back his face to us, then the earth is going to learn what righteousness is when we're back in our rightful rulership. Continue.
Verse 10, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh.
So what, when you think about it today now, which land would be the land of uprightness today? What land or what country would be the land of uprightness today? America. Because this is what it said. This is the land of what? Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, democracy. Justice is not blind. All right. So instead of all places in the world, America is a place where you could get justice for a crime that's been done to you. Yeah.
Isaiah 5:20.
Yeah. You right?
And evil good. And
Yeah.
evil.
It said democracy. Democracy what runs and rules this country. So they say of all nations of the earth, if you want to pursue the case of justice, you could get it more in America than any other place in the face of the world. So read that verse. That's why they call this the land of uprightness. All right. Read that verse again.
Verse 10, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly.
And he have dealt unjustly in the land that he called uprightness. Go ahead.
And will not behold the majesty of Yahweh.
And he has not beholden the majesty of the Most High. He doesn't give the Most High no credit. Continue.
Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see, and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them.
Why the Most High love fire so much? Everything the Most High do is fire, fire, fire. The Most High says he's coming back with fire, and the fire is going to burn them up. All right? In Malachi, the Most High said the fire that's going to burn shall not leave a blade of grass. In almost every scripture or passage you read, the Most High read about fire, fire. Most High said, I'm a consuming fire. All right? Because the Most High loves fire. The Most High is fire.
Fire.
Maybe the Most High is a fire sign. All right? Because you know Aries is a fire sign. Right? Yahushua was a so-called Aries. All right? All right, go ahead.
Verse 12, Yahweh, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou hast also wrought all our works in us. O Yahweh, our power, for the Lord besides thee have dominion over us.
See? You see it says, O Most High, our power, other lords besides thee have had dominion over us. And all nations and people had dominion over us. All right? From the time we came out of Egypt, even up until this day. All right, go ahead.
But by thee only will we make mention of thy name.
See, but by thee only will we make mention of your name. Continue.
They are dead, they shall not live. They are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, made all their memory to perish. Thou hast increased the nation, O Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation, thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them.
And who's that talking about? It says, Most High in trouble have they visited thee? They poured out a prayer when thy chastisement was upon them. That's us. Whenever we're in trouble or we're catching hell, we're crying out, oh Lord, oh God, we're crying out, crying to the Most High. And we're the only people that do that, man. When all hell break out, we cry out and we, oh God, please. We cry out to the Most High, man. We're the only nation that do that, man.
Isn't that scripture that say in their affliction they shall seek
They
me
shall
early?
seek me early. Yeah, in Hosea. The Most High said in Hosea 5:15, in the affliction they will seek me early. Right now, we're not really crying out to the Most High. Israel is what's fact, they're doing good. But very soon they're gonna be crying out to the Most High. Because when they at that time they're gonna see that they have nowhere else to run to or go to, but the Most High. See, in our spirit, we're naturally a spiritual people, but we try to suppress that. You understand? We're a spiritual people. We're naturally spiritually inclined. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery, is in pain, and crieth out in her pangs. So we have been in thy sight, O Yahweh.
And that's what we always been. In slavery, we was crying out. But did the Most High hear us? Hell told him no. The Most High said, I'm not hearing you. The Most High said he hid his face. He turned his back. Most High said, sorry. Sorry, Charlie. How the commercial used to go with it, with the Star-Kissed tuna on the water. Sorry, Charlie. I used to like that commercial, boy. All right?
Sorry for Charlie, though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 18. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth.
See, we didn't wrought no deliverance in the earth. All we've been catching is pure hell. Go ahead.
Neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen.
So the inhabitant of the world hasn't fallen yet, but they're gonna fall this time now. Continue.
Thy dead men shall live. Together with dead bodies shall they arise.
See, thy dead men shall live together with my dead body. Who's that? What is that talking about? Let's see if I can pick up on that.
Talking about Christ.
Right, the resurrection. When Yahweh died, we died with him too. Read that verse again.
Verse 19. Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they rise.
Right. So when Yahweh rose from the resurrection, we will arise too. When we died with him. When he was resurrected, we were resurrected with him. All right, go ahead.
Awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust. For thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
What is that indignation? The destruction that's coming. All right, go ahead.
For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
All right, so let's from there, we're going to go now to the book of John, the 5th chapter. All right, St. John, the 5th chapter. I want to show you something here in St. John, the 5th chapter. So everybody know what the word Bethesda mean? When we go to St. John here, the 5th chapter. Bethesda. What does it mean? St. John 5 and 1. Well, we're going to read about it. Okay. St. John 5 and 1.
This is John chapter 5 and verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem.
What feast was this? Everybody know what feast this was?
Dedication.
No, this was the Pentecost. Mm-hmm. And you notice, Yahushua always went up to Jerusalem at the feast. When it was the feast of the dedication, he went up to Jerusalem. At every feast, he always went up to Jerusalem. Remember, Yahushua did a lot of walking. And for that short time that he lived, he traveled almost all over Israel. And that's not easy. Okay? Because when you go from one city to another city, sometimes that could take you hours if you walk it. All right. If you're traveling from Arad to Galilee, that's at least 3 to 4 hour drive. And remember, he was walking those distance. And he knew all those areas. That's a lot of walking. That's why a lot of times when he got there, he said he was tired because he did all that walking. Remember when he came and they went to a certain area and they said he was tired and the disciples were faint and they were hungry because he did a lot of walking. But his favorite place to go was where? Let me see if y'all could pick up what was his favorite place. Galilee. Not so much in the land of Judah, but in Galilee.
Galilee's Naphtali, right?
Yeah. And Galilee is a nice place too. Galilee has a lot of mango trees, man. When I went there, I told Matatu, we gotta find those mango trees, man. They said, ain't none here. I said, no. I said, let's go up to Galilee, man. When we went up to Galilee, man, we were driving. I said, Matatu, stop the car. Well, what's that over there? Well, we went and raid that mango tree. Some sweet mangoes, man. Sweet mangoes, sweet. Oh my goodness, man. Up in Galilee, there's a lot of sweet mango tree, man. I didn't see none down in Arad, but up in Galilee, it's a lot of mango trees, man. Oranges, olives, but mangoes are sweet, man. I was just like, it was a private property. We just went in there, went over the fence, give a damn look at it. Start picking the mangoes, man. You know, but it was fun though, you know. All right, so we're gonna read about Galilee is real nice, man. It's close to the sea too. All right, but it's nice up there in Galilee, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
Okay, so Bethesda in the Hebrew word is house of mercy. But you have chesed. Yes.
Why did Christ like Galilee?
Remember, he grew up there too. And it's something about Galilee. I like it too, man. It's different, man. You know, it's not as hot. To me, it's more fertile for some reason. All right. But the Most High is going to make the land of Judah fertile again. But Galilee is still fertile today, man. You know, and it's close to the sea. It's fruitful up there, man. Very fruitful in Galilee. And Yahushua like that area for some reason. He's always up in that area. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water.
So back in Israel at that time, and that pool is still there. Okay, it's a pool where if you're sick or anything, the angel will come down and will move the water, and you could go in the water, and whatever illness or sickness you have, you'll be healed. Wow, that's it. And that's still the power today that's in the land. That virtue is still there. All right, just like in the Dead Sea. You go and bathe in the Dead Sea, that thing heals you up, man. And you'll never sink in that Dead Sea water, man. You'll just float. But don't drink it, man. You can't drink that water, man. All right? Salty, pure salt, man. But there's a lot of virtues in that Dead Sea. Well, I don't like in dead. To me, it's a life sea. All right? Yeah.
Slack, I wouldn't go if you have like a cut. I was there many years ago. You have a cut, you go in there.
You burn it, yes. But if you have like
the littlest cut, you don't feel it.
Yeah, but if you have any skin ailments or like psoriasis or stuff, it heals it up. You know what I mean? From the salt. But yeah.
I was gonna say it pulls. It does a lot of pulling. Like when you go in there, if you early in the day, moisturizing, going in there, all that lotion is gonna come out of your skin.
Yeah. Yep. And they use the salt and sell the salt too. The salt has a lot of virtues to it, man. You know. But this pool here that was up in the porch in Galilee is still there today. Yes.
Those wicked people trying to pump
the salt. Yeah.
No, they say dropping.
Yeah, they try and try to build on it.
And they're trying to pump the seawater from the Red Sea into it.
Yeah.
And it's two different. So
two different. Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, because what they're doing, they're building, they keep pushing up and pushing and backfilling, and building on the area of the Salt Sea.
Right.
You understand? But this pool here is still there up in Galilee. You understand? And back in time of Yahushua, when anybody was sick or had ailments, they would wait for the angel to come down, and the angel will come and stir the water, and they'll be healed. So let's finish reading that. But it's amazing to see that Israel as a nation, how we had different thoughts of thinking, right? Because you had the Sadducees and the Pharisees, right? The Pharisees believe in angels and resurrection, right? But the Sadducees didn't believe in angels, spirits, or resurrection.
Right.
But instead, let's finish reading this here. Let's finish reading. It tells you the angel used to come down and move the water. So how could they not believe in angels? We're something else. That's why the Most High said we are peculiar people, man. All right? Go ahead.
John chapter 5 and verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool.
See, for an angel came down and went into the pool for a certain season. All right, go ahead.
And troubled the water.
And troubled the water. So what they did, they moved the elements. Because remember, water is elements too. So the angels probably just connect with the elements and cause the water to become a healing process. All right, go ahead.
Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
See, whatsoever disease he had, you were healed. You understand? So that's the virtue that the land has. And no other land has that virtue like the land of Israel. Okay? The land has a lot of virtues that nobody speaks about. Okay? Yes, Africa has some good virtues too. But the Most High said his chief joy above all lands is where? Israel. Right? Yes.
I was reading too before about just the different kind of fruits and trees that can grow in Israel, and they said it has the most diversified range out of anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And almost anything could grow, any fruit could grow in that area. You understand?
Somebody was mentioning about corn, but they said corn can grow there.
Yeah, because the corn was our basic food. Because Passover, where do you get the corn from? In Passover, most I say eat parched corn. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
Damn, 38 years he had an infirmity. It's a long time. All right, go ahead.
When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
So tell you, Yahushua said, listen, you want to be made whole? Yahushua didn't even know him. He didn't know Yahushua said, listen, you want to be made whole? Go ahead.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I am coming to another steppeth down before me.
So you know that's Negroes for you. Let me get in before you. Push him to the side. Let me get some healing first, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's Israel for you, man. All right, go ahead.
Yahushua saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
And the same day was the Sabbath. Now, the reason I'm showing this is two reasons too. Because a lot of people today, the Sabbath comes any day of the week. It could come Wednesday, it could come Monday, it could come this day. But this Sabbath was always on a particular day. And I want to show that too. Because Yahushua always went into the temple on the Shabbat day. It couldn't have been any other day. It had to have been a specific day. This day was a Shabbat day. Hold that, right? And go to Luke, the 4th chapter. Luke, the 4th chapter, and start here from the 14th verse. Luke 14, Luke 4:14.
Luke chapter 4 and verse 14. And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee.
See, so Yahushua loved Galilee. He said he returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee. So it's something about Galilee that Yahushua liked. All right, go ahead.
And there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read.
See, so he went in the synagogue on the Shabbat day. So it had to have been a particular day when he went into the synagogue. All right? It couldn't have been the Shabbat fell this Wednesday, then it fell Monday next week, then next week. No, it was always a pattern of the same day. The Shabbat, yes.
Like you said, as his custom was.
His custom, yeah. He went into the synagogue on the Shabbat day. And then when he healed the man, it was on the Shabbat day. When you read in John. All right. So let's go back to John. St. John, the 5th chapter.
John chapter 5 and verse 10. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed.
So they were being strict. Being strict. You ain't supposed to carry your bed. What are you doing? Picking at everything. Like I said, I'm not. All right? What is that you're doing this Sabbath? But overlooking the weightier matters of the law. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? And he said, and he that was healed wist not who it was, for Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee.
See what Yahushua said? Sin no more. So how could people say the law is no more when Yahushua told him, sin no more? That's the same he told the one that was caught in adultery. He said, go and sin no more. So he's showing you, in order for you to sin no more, I mean the law is still applicable and it's still here. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Yahushua, which made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day.
Now, what Jews was doing this? Was it the common Israelites?
No, first.
The scribes, the Pharisees, and the Sadducees. They were the main one. All right? And hold that. Go to Acts 23 and 6. Acts 23 and 6. Because it's amazing to see that as a people, we are still divided. We had division amongst us. Right? We had that division amongst us, but we're the same nation, but had different frame of thought and thinking of certain things. Acts 23 and 6.
Acts chapter 23 and verse 6. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees,
Right?
and the other Pharisees,
Right. Those were the two main groups in Israel. And you had other groups. You had the Herodians, you had Essenes, you had the Sicarians. You had a lot of different groups in Israel during this time that Yahushua was walking the earth. But the Pharisees and Sadducees were the two main groups. All right, go ahead.
he cried out in the council, men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Of the hope and resurrection of the dead, I am called in question.
See what he said? He said, so the Pharisees believe in the resurrection. But why did why did Paul say this here now? Why did he jump on the side of the Pharisees?
There's still dissension between them.
Right,
Because the Sadducees don't believe in the resurrection.
right. And the Pharisees had more pull than the Sadducees. All right. More people look up to the Pharisees than the Sadducees. All right. Go ahead.
And when he had said so, there arose dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the multitude was divided.
Mm-hmm.
For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection.
They said there's no resurrection. How are you going to say there's no resurrection? When everybody else in Israel always believed in the resurrection. Martha believed in the resurrection. She knew that Lazarus was going to be resurrected in the end. Job knew about the resurrection. So how the hell you don't believe in the resurrection? That's amazing, huh? Israel, we're something else, man. Go ahead.
For the Sadducees say there is no resurrection, neither angel.
Neither angel. How you say there's no angel?
Wow.
Even David speaks about the angels.
That means they throw away Ezekiel.
Yeah, that's the case. They throw away all the prophets. What Elijah wrote, what he said about, you know what I mean? What Yahweh said about the angel that came down to stir up the water. How you overlook all that history? All the revelation, but revelation wasn't here. But if you go back to the prophets, right? Even when Samson, the angel came to Manoah, all right? When the angel came to Jephthah. So how you overlook all this here and say there's no angel? That's amazing. Go ahead.
Nor spirit.
No spirit. How you say there's no spirit? Go ahead.
But the Pharisees confess both.
But the Pharisees confess both. The Pharisees believe there's a spirit, there's angel, there's resurrection. So you see how we were divided back then? It's the same thing today too.
Right.
Until Yahushua put us back as one fold, one nation. Continue.
And there arose a great cry, and the scribes that were of the Pharisees part arose and strove, saying, we find no evil in this man. But if a spirit or an angel hath spoken to him, let us not fight against Yahweh.
So the Pharisees had more pull than the Sadducees. So they said, listen, man, look, we on Paul's side with this here now. Back off. All right? So let's go back to John, the 5th chapter. But it's amazing to see that one sect believe in angels and the resurrection, and one doesn't believe in it. And we're the same people. All right, go ahead. Back to St. John.
Okay, I'll start back at 15. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Yahushua which made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But Yahushua answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that Yahweh was his father.
What's wrong with that? We all say that the Most High is our Father. What's wrong with that? All right, go ahead.
Making himself equal with Yahweh.
Now that's what they say. He's made himself equal to God now. Who is he? Go ahead.
Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son alike.
So he's showing you. So now this really cuts into what Peter's saying. Jesus is God. Jesus is God in the earth. No, he's letting you know that his Father. He's referring everything back to his Father. So how could he be the Most High? How could Jesus be God in the earth? You see how Peter got that doctrine messed up from the Catholic Church? God, Jesus is God in the earth. No, he's not. And then this old saying, Mary, the mother of God. That's so stupid. All right, go ahead.
For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will.
That's the power the Most High gave him. All right, go ahead.
For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son.
See, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. That's why when Yahushua comes back, man, he's going to lay down a lot of people, man. Okay, that's why he said, all they that will not that I shall reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. Okay, because the Most High gave him that judgment when that time comes, because he paid the price for that. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 23, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father, which hath sent him.
See that? That's a cold deal right there, man. Go ahead.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word, and believeth on him that sent me, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Yahweh, and they that hear shall live.
So what is that talking about? Is that physical death or spiritual death? Right. But it's also both too, physical and spiritual, but merely spiritual first. All right, go ahead.
For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given the Son to have life in himself,
Mhm.
and hath given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man.
All right. So that's the power the Most High gave Yahushua. So when people say, why you are giving all this credit to some man called JC? Because the Most High gave him the power to execute and finish that job. Yahushua said, I came to finish the job that my Father has set out. Go ahead.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice.
See? So now that's those that are physically dead. Okay, go ahead.
And shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
All right. So I'm meaning too, even those that did wicked is going to be resurrected and be put back to death again. They're going to be raised up and be put to death. So nobody escapes the Most High judgment. God. Some people say, yeah, ain't no God. Who's that God? But don't worry. Remember the Most High said, every foolish word that man speak, he's going to give account thereof in the day of judgment. So nobody runs or escape. The Most High will let you give you a long line to run, a long fish line. Yeah. Go, run with it. Run with that fishing line. Then when the time comes, the Most High is going to reel you in. I got you now. Okay? So that's why a lot of people think, oh, there ain't no God. I could just do what I want. But don't worry. Most High said he's long suffering, man. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 30. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will.
See what Yahushua said? He said, I seek not my own will. Go ahead.
But the will of the Father which hath sent me.
See, he's giving glory to the Father, but the will of the Father that sent me. So how could Yahushua be the Most High in the earth when he's giving the glory to his Father? All right, go ahead.
If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another that beareth witness of me, and I know that the witness which he witnesses of me is true. He sent unto John, and he bare witness unto the truth. But I receive not testimony from man, but these things I say, that ye might be saved. He was a burning and shining light, and you were willing for a season to rejoice in his light.
Mm-hmm.
But I have greater witness than that of John.
See what Yahushua said? But I have greater witness than that of John. Greater witness. Go ahead.
For the works which the Father hath given me to finish, the same works that I do, bear witness of me, that the Father hath sent me.
So Yahushua came to finish the works of the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
And the Father himself, which hath sent me, hath borne witness of me. Ye neither have heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. And ye have not his word abiding in you. For whom he hath sent, him ye believe not. Search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life. And they are they which testify of.
Right. The scriptures testify of Yahushua. When you search those scriptures, man. Go ahead.
And ye will not come to me, that ye might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that ye have not the love of Yahweh in you. I come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive.
Right, and that's true. That's so true today. If somebody else came in their own name, bearing their own name, people will receive them and accept them. Okay? And you see it all the time. Right? But if he came in the Most High name, they ain't going to believe that. Right? Yes.
When you said in verse 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said, can you read that again for me?
Mm-hmm. Verse 36. But I have greater witness than that of John. For the works which the Father hath given me to finish, the same works that I do, bear witness of me, that the Father hath sent me.
Right. So the works of the Most High gave him was to finish it. All right. So while he was there,
witness?
huh?
Was that the greater witness?
The greater witness.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And when he comes back, that's going to be the fullness of it when he returns back. Mm-hmm. And that's when he's going to finish it. All right. Because remember, Scripture said, a short walk shall Yahushua make on the earth, and he shall not go over all Jerusalem. But when he comes back this time, he's going to finish that work that the Most High set out for him. All right. But he finished the work as far as what? The word. As putting out the word when he was here. Because remember, Yahushua started his ministry at what age?
32.
30. Right. So he only and he died at what age? So he only did 3 years. 3 years of teaching. Actually, he was teaching from 12, but the appointed time when he started teaching was from 30, because that's the age of most times you become a rightful teacher at the age of 30. All right. So from 30, he started his ministry, and he had 3 years to accomplish all that within that 3 years. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 44. How can ye believe, which receiveth honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Yahweh only? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me.
See, Moses wrote of him. Imagine that. Way back there, Moses wrote of the Messiah. Imagine that. Moses wrote of the Messiah. And it's in the scriptures. Yeah. Yeah. Understand? But some of you, no, that's not talking. Moses didn't write about no guy called JC. Yes, he did. All right, go ahead.
But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words?
See, but if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? So if you can't believe what Moses wrote, how are you going to believe what Yahushua was speaking? All right. Now go to the 6th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to end the class. Read the 6th chapter and the 42nd verse. I just want to touch on what Karazar Rakah had taught. And Yahushua come from the seed of David. All right. John 6:42.
John chapter 6 and verse 42. And they said, is not this Yahushua, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven?
So like Karazar Rakah said, everybody back then knew that Joseph and Mary was his mother and father. Okay, that wasn't no new doctrine. Who's his father and who? You understand? Everybody knew back then that Joseph was his father. Okay, it's only within the last, I should say, like what, 200, 300 years, this stuff came about. But the Immaculate Conception, all right, that teaching. But back then, everybody knew that Joseph was his father. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna end the class. Anybody have any questions? Anything anybody want to touch on or discuss? End the class on that. So with that, I say shalom.
Shalom.
That was quick. It's 2 o'clock now, right?
Imagine what